What's up, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Automatic Patient Podcast. I am your co-host today, Jordan Comstock. Dan is not with me today. He is practicing dentistry. I'm hanging out with friends in the dental industry, and I wanted to bring a special guest on our show today. Her name is Gina Kiner. Gina, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes, Gina is an office manager for a practice. The name of is Pioneer Valley Dental Arts. And I wanted to bring her on the show today because they've launched a patient membership program, and she's grown it very quickly in a short amount of time. So I'm like, Gina, I gotta know what you're doing, and I gotta get your tips out to the people that listen to our podcast and anyone that uses BoomCloud. So she's kind enough to come hang out with me today and discuss strategies that have worked for her office. So Gina, again, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I look forward to sharing our tips.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. So, Gina, for our audience, tell people how you got into dentistry. How did you get into the current role you're in today? Let's learn a little bit about you.
Sure. I was always interested in the dental field. I don't know if it was particularly dental or healthcare in general, particularly preventive healthcare, but I did find myself in hygiene school shortly after graduating high school.
Hmm.
I was hired straight out of hygiene school to the practice that I'm at now, Pioneer Valley Dental Arts, as a hygienist. That was in 2011. A few years in, I wanted a little bit more for myself. I was more drawn to the business side of dentistry. I
Mm.
didn't know if it was marketing, management, research. I'm very lucky that the practice owners that mentored me when I first was hired, they really wanted to see, and they were very supportive of my growth. I went back to school. I
Great.
obtained my master's degree in 2018.
Really?
Yes, I dabbled in little areas, side projects, while still maintaining my career here, in education, research, marketing, all of it, just to experience where my true strengths were. And it resulted in staying where I am and just transitioning and being promoted from hygiene to practice manager with the
Mm.
support of the practice owners. So I've been in this role for about 2 years now, and I love it. It's a great challenge. I can stick to my roots of hygiene, but still utilize my management and business skills that I've developed
Yes,
over the years, and it's a really nice compliment for me.
I love it. So I have a similar story as you. I didn't go to hygiene school, but my dad owns a dental lab. Well, my grandpa, he owned it first, and then it passed down to my dad. And I ran the dental lab for about 8 years, and I was very similar to you. The first thing I learned how to do was wax a gold crown, right?
Mhm.
And I thought that was really cool. A lot of cool things that I still use today from the dental lab era of my
Yeah.
career. But same thing. I'm like, I love the business side of dentistry, and I converted over to that. And I experimented with marketing, and I went to school, and my dad's like, I don't want to spend money on a website because it's too expensive. And I'm like, well, we need a website. And that's how I
Right.
got into tech, is because I volunteered and said, hey, I'm willing to go learn and figure out how to build a website. And that's what got me into dental tech, right? So very similar in dentistry for a long time on the clinical side, and had a passion towards the business side of dental. So that's really cool. I love it.
Yes.
And so you've been 2 years in the office manager seat over there at Pioneer Valley Dental Arts. And how's that been going for you? Still learning, I bet.
I learn something new every day. I don't think that this is a skill that you know, you don't hit the maximum level of knowledge and experience ever, because every day is different, every experience is different. I'm learning from the patients, I'm learning from my team, I'm learning from my practice owners. Every day is a new experience, and that was what I think with hygiene. You learn everything you need to know, and every day feels very similar. So in
Sure, yeah.
this role, I just feel like I'm always on my toes, and I'm always ready to learn, ready to work.
Yeah,
It's a
I think
great fit.
as long as you keep that mindset in general, anyone can be successful with a learning mindset. I've
Correct.
I've been a CEO for 8 years now, and I am still learning and still being challenged every day. It's wild. So
Right.
I think, do you have any favorite like business books that you've read? I don't know if you're a big reader or audibles.
I'm just staying as current as I can with the field itself because it's
Sure.
constantly changing.
Yeah,
And that's been my focus right now.
sure. No, that's great. I think one of my favorite business books on this topic, before we get into all the nitty-gritty questions here, I'm going to ask you. I love the book Traction. It is a management book on how to manage people, whether you're in a dental office or a software company or whatever. And they have a concept called EOS, which stands for Entrepreneur Operating System. And it teaches you how to operate a like a practice, for example, off of scorecards and how to manage people. It's probably one of my favorite management books in regards to just managing business, dentistry, software, whatever. It's a good foundation.
That
So
sounds like a very interesting book.
yeah, Attraction by Gino Wickman. There's a lot of like dental business consultants that will teach their concepts. It's one of my
Right.
favorite it's one of my favorite books. And that for those listening, that book um helps you get your team aligned with your vision and what you're trying
Right.
to achieve within your practice. So in this case, in today's episode, we're going to talk about how Gina achieved a great growth with her membership program. And um, the book Traction will talk about how do you get all the people aligned together, which you probably naturally did, but it gives you some methodology behind the madness, right? So, favorite book,
Exactly.
Traction. So, all right, let's get started, Gina. Let's put you on the hot seat.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so Gina grew their membership program in a year from scratch, from zero membership patients to 365 active patients and growing. There's some trends. It sounds like you're signing up 30 patients roughly a month. So the data we're going to be talking about today is going to be different, 2, 3 months moving forward because Gina's a rock star and she knows what she's doing. So, Gina, let's talk about that. So, you're a year in with your membership program, 365 active patient membership patients, paying roughly $3.99 for a yearly subscription or $39.99 for a monthly subscription. Uh,
Correct.
which is a healthy recurring revenue amount for the practice. But that's just the beginning of the story, right? There's a lot more benefit both on the patient side and the practice ownership side of scaling a membership program. So, first question for you, Gina, how did you do it? How did you grow the membership program to 365 in 1 year?
When I transitioned from dental hygiene to practice management, that was my priority. That was the first
Okay.
conversation I had with my practice owners that I wanted to build a membership program. I wanted to improve our patients' internal access to the optimal care that we're recommending to them.
Hmm.
And I knew a membership program would be the most successful way to improve our diagnostic acceptance rates.
Sure.
So, how I did it, I think one of the reasons why I feel like we've been consistently growing and consistently successful with it is that my goal with developing our membership was to educate and empower our clinical team and not just our admin team when it came to promoting our membership. Typically, everything financial or anything insurance related, our clinical team will defer those conversations to our admin team.
Gotcha.
Our admin team is wonderful. They're very educated. They're very much in tune with our patients' needs as well as the industry itself. However, one of the most strongest bonds that you will find in the dental practice, which makes a dental practice successful, is that bond between the patient and their provider, whether that be their dental hygienist or their dentist. They trust those recommendations. They look forward to seeing and hearing from their provider. And I knew that that was really the golden ticket for this to take off.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted our hygiene team and our doctors and our assistants to nurture the conversation and the discussions of the membership the same way they would with any other recommendation that they would clinically. I think psychologically, when the provider that a patient trusts is, one, able to personalize why this membership is suited for this particular patient, and two, can simplify the entire animal of the finances and the quote coverage, it
Yeah.
truly makes the decision an easy one for them to make. And they're often saying yes before they're even leaving the chair.
Mm.
So
So empowering the clinician, the clinical side of dentistry. Yeah, I've seen this a lot with successful practices where they've empowered not only the front office team, right, or the admin team, but they really get their hygienists, assistants, and the doctors aligned to the concept of the benefits of a membership program for the patient, and the patients listen, right? This is how boring I get sometimes. One day, I literally went and sat in an dental office for like 3 hours, just observing how they were growing their membership program. Because this is how geeky I get, Gina. Right?
I love it.
I literally
I love
sat,
it.
and that is one key element that I observed is that their doctors and their clinical staff were educating and talking about it as well as the admin staff, right? Or admin team. I like the word team better than staff. Staff is an affection, team is who we hire to get things done, right?
Exactly. We say that same thing. We say the same thing here. Staff is an infection.
Yeah, team. I like team. I call my team. I never call them staff. So let's just get that out of the way. No, that is really interesting that it often I see practices abdicate, not delegate, but abdicate to the admin team. And
Mhm.
to your point, yes, they have some influence in regards to PPO plans, most likely, right? But your clinical team has way more influence both on the clinical side and on the financial decision making side. I think that's a wise observation that you made. And when you first started your role, I love that that was your mindset. It's so rare to hear that in dentistry today, where most people will try to abdicate the roles and responsibilities to the admin team, and the clinical team's a clinical team, admin team's admin team. We don't cross paths. So I
Correct.
love that you mix that. That is very smart, obviously, right? We've got the data that's saying Gina's smart.
That that really is I think being in my role and having a strong clinical background, my entire day is just trying to marry the two departments.
Oh,
It's
that's
so
interesting.
often that we're split front and back, and we, the more cohesiveness we have between the front and back, and knowing, not just cross training with tasks and duties, but cross training of information. It's so important that the patient is, one, getting continuity when they're having conversations with team members,
Yeah.
but two, that we're we're empowering our patients all the same way, and that we can speak not just on our clinical side, but our financial options that we're recommending. And I like to try to empower our front team on a lot of our clinical philosophies that we have as well. It's just as important.
Sure.
But I think in this case, I just heavily weigh that conversation with my clinical team members when it comes to the membership. And if a conversation of finance comes up, they are they're ready to have that conversation right off the
Yeah.
bat. They know they've got that brochure ready to go. And when
They're
we
trained.
audit,
Yeah.
right, it's part of their routine now. When they audit, they're even looking what patients are self-pay, what patients
Mm.
maybe this might be a conversation before I even ask about medical history. Here, go over this brochure. I can answer any questions you have. It's part of what we're providing for every patient that walks in the door now. It's very
Yeah. I
important to
love that.
us.
I love that. And it sound like you guys are looking at the schedule and seeing what type of patient is coming in, meaning PPO patient, uninsured patient, or whatever it may be. You're looking at that, be like, hey, we can discuss the program with this patient. Are you discussing it with like existing insured patients
Absolutely.
and educating
Absolutely.
them? Yeah. That is
Absolutely.
that is a trend I've
So
seen for a long time that practices that they don't isolate the cohorts of patients. They simply just educate everyone who's coming in their door. And because you never know when a patient is so sick and tired of their insurance plan, right? and they just want to go, they just want to work direct. Like that's a
Correct.
simple relationship. Just work direct
Exactly.
with practices. Sorry, I think I cut you off.
No, that's, and just another point of that is I'm currently, I've been mentoring the hygienist that took my place. She's seeing all the patients that I used to treat. She's sitting in the chair that I used to sit in. And
Uh-huh.
oftentimes she'll come to me and say, oh, this patient has been refusing x-rays for the past 2 visits. What should I do? Give them the brochure. We know that one of the giant barriers of accepting any care is the finances. Give them
It
that
is.
brochure, show them the value. And she'll come in the room in my office and say, guess what? They signed up, no problem. They consented to everything that we needed. It's breaking down so many financial barriers that, and not even just financial barriers. Sometimes we're not sure what the barrier is. The patient comes in declining, and then when they see this membership, this service that we have, it allows them to, one, trust us and to invest in the health that we want to provide for them.
Yes. No, I love that. Do you guys, what is said on your guys' brochure? Is it pretty basic? Just shows the details of the plan and says these are
Absolutely.
great benefits.
I wanted this as simple as possible, and our brochure is just that. We do have the QR code that they can scan to give, that leads right to the landing page that was created by
So they
Google
can
Cloud.
sign up.
Correct. They can sign up by themselves on their phones, but we have a lot of elderly patients that we do
Just
have
want help.
one, yes, and we're happy to help them. And we
Sure.
just bring
Yeah,
them
yeah.
into our consult room and sign them up.
So okay, so you guys have a consult room where you talk financial matters or help with financial
Correct. Yep.
processes. Yeah, that's great. I love hearing that too. That's fantastic, Gina. All right, here's my next question here. I want to know, you're talking to patients every day and your team is. I want to know, like, what do patients think when they become a member of you guys' program? Like, what are their thoughts and feelings and all that good stuff?
We just hit 1 year right after Thanksgiving. And for the whole month of November, I wanted to reach out to every single patient whose membership was just about to expire. Just one, to give them a courtesy call, remind them this is an automatic renewal. Just want
Sure.
you to be prepared, because $399 is quite an expense if you're not expecting it. And with a
Yep.
lot of these automatic renewals, I just wanted to make sure the transparency was there, that they were aware
Great
that
customer service on your part. Yes.
Yep. I also wanted to just make sure our payment information was correct.
Sure.
And
So you didn't have any
three,
problems?
yeah, my third reason for calling was I wanted feedback. I wanted to know how this was serving them, how they felt. Did they feel like it was of value? Was there anything that we could change, amend, add? If
Sure.
they thought it was financially, I just, and I feel very comfortable with many of the patients that walk in, so I felt comfortable having these conversations. And I do have one
It's
other
almost
team
like you've
member.
built trust with them in another role.
Exactly. That's the magic of it. I do have another
Yep.
team member who's been helping me with these calls. And we found that every single person so far that we have called has given us an overwhelming positive response. And not only positive feedback, but also sharing gratitude for us for developing this program that they find to be just such a wonderful opportunity for them, and not realizing how much easier it is for us when our patients are on the membership. We don't even go there with
Yeah.
them, but for
Yeah.
their,
They
from
probably
their
they
perspective,
probably feel it, feel the experience
right?
being on an insured patients versus a membership patient. I would guarantee you they feel the different experience.
Yes.
Less confusion, less red tape, with members versus
Yes.
PPO plans, right? And
Right.
clarity for the patient, like budget friendly clarity. We'll say that.
Right. Exactly. And I was overwhelmed with the amount of gratitude they were sharing with me. Please don't ever take this away from us. This has just
Huh.
been such a wonderful, easy thing for us. It was a no-brainer. We didn't know what the catch was, and here we are year in, and it's just been wonderful.
Yeah,
I
and that's
wouldn't
when you say, yeah, well, there's no catch because we're not an insurance company.
exactly. I said the catch is that we're not chasing after your insurance provider. That's the catch.
Yeah,
It's
it has
because
nothing
we're
to do
our-
with you.
right.
No,
So
that's great. That's great.
so
That is,
far, our feedback, we will be reaching out to every single patient individually, like 365, that's essentially a call a day. It's not that difficult to do, but I feel like for us, with it being a new program, and it really is unique to our demographic, our area,
sure.
it was important for me to just have that conversation with them to see, you're a year into this program, how is it serving you? And
Yeah.
I'm just really I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with the response we're getting, and it's just
I
motivating me to build it even more.
I can see why patients like working with you guys because it sounds like you really care about the
We
patient experience,
do. We care
which is
so
really, really
much.
important.
Yes.
I remember years ago, Gina, I had a practice call into our office here at Boom Cloud, and he's like, I need to talk to somebody here. I'm not growing my membership program. I'm like, well, hold on, let's chill out here. And he was all grumpy, right? Because he wasn't growing his membership program. And one of my team members came to me, and I'm like, hey, what's going on with Dr. So and so? I heard one of our team members talking on the phone with him, and he seemed, upset. Like, yeah, he just hasn't been able to grow his membership program. I'm like, pull up his reviews and see what type of patient experience he's given to his patients, and then we can determine why he's not growing his membership program, right? Sure enough,
Right.
we pulled up those reviews. So many poor reviews from patients, and I'm like, patients don't trust you because you're treating them poorly, and when you do that to people, they don't buy more from you.
Right. Exactly.
So I will add this based off of what I'm hearing you say is if you do not have a process for patient experience, one, figure out how to delight patients and get feedback like what Gina's doing so she can understand how to better improve, right? Because the beautiful thing about offering a membership program or anything new is that you can continue improving it and caring about the voice. We have a saying here at Boom Cloud. I care most about we call it VOC, voice of customer, right? And your guys is in the dental industry, it's voice of patient, right? What does the
Right.
voice of the patient say? What do they need? How can we listen to that voice and improve upon what we hear that voice say, right? So voice of patient.
Right.
Listen to the voices of your patients. If you don't have a great patient experience, and a patient experience, it sounds like loose and gray, but it's a process. You can process a patient experience. I remember walking in to a practice, and every time I walked in, they had a warm plate of cookies. I'm like, oh, a cookie, right? I would get it. It was a great experience, right? But like clockwork, they had things like that throughout every station in the practice. And I loved going to that office because I knew exactly what I was going to get every time. And I was greeted with happy, friendly faces that were asking about how I was doing. And it felt very, it, it felt like a genuine experience, right?
Mhm.
So there's ways to optimize your patient experience. We won't get into that details on this episode, but I can tell right away, Gina, that you guys care about patient experience, and that's one of the reasons why you've grown your membership program, in addition to having your clinical team be a driver of the membership program growth.
Well, I would argue too that part of optimizing patient experience is having the membership. I think that
Yes, yeah, that goes hand in
I
hand.
really think it's helped because it's almost like I mentioned, bringing our clinical and our front team together on
Yes,
a shared philosophy that we want to share with all our patients. But two, it's giving our patients that value. It's improving how we promote the value of our services.
yeah,
I really think Boom Cloud in the membership has really improved that in our past year. It
that's
has
so
been,
awesome. I love hearing that.
yes,
Whenever I talk about Boom Cloud or membership programs, I always say that a patient membership program is two things. It is a marketing strategy and a patient experience strategy first. And then afterwards, it is a case acceptance strategy, right? A revenue strategy.
correct.
But that is a byproduct. Anything involving revenue, I talk revenue and business metrics all the time. The truth is, revenue is a byproduct on the value you give to others. If you're not giving enough
Yes.
value, you're not going to get that byproduct. Right? So if you're trying to increase revenue or do whatever, grow your practice faster, first and foremost, think of how much value you can give to those you're serving, your patients, and then the byproduct of revenue or growth happens. So that's typically how it works. So on this topic, are you guys seeing membership patients say yes more to treatment?
I feel that that is correct. I just don't have the actual quantitative data on that.
Sure, yeah.
But just based off of my experience of listening to conversations that I'm hearing up
Yeah.
front, I think one of those reasons is we're eliminating presenting the patient with two potential bills. If they're
Yeah,
coming in
sure.
for a recare appointment or an emergency exam, that's all covered. So
Yeah.
psychologically,
Beautiful.
they're getting free services, right? And
Hmm.
then when we're going in with the treatment plan to review the treatment plan, it's eliminating coming at them with two different bills that they need to handle in one day. So
Yes.
psychologically, right off the bat, I think we're giving ourselves an advantage by providing these services that are complementary with being part of our membership. So
Yeah,
yes,
you get included benefits for this simple budget-friendly price.
yes. Second, I do think we utilize buzzwords when presenting treatment plans like, oh, you're part of our membership. There's no maximum here. So we do
Patients don't know what that
offer,
is. Yeah.
well, they do if they came from a PPO plan where
Yes, they
they
do.
maxed out at $1,000 and a
Yep,
crown
yep.
is 1,500.
Yes.
So we do try to utilize our verbiage to show why the membership is a little bit more financially advantageous than being on a PPO plan. Whether
Yeah,
that be, oh,
great.
there's no maximum, no, we don't need to do a pre-estimate. We don't, all of the barriers that, or all the hoops that we have to jump through with PPOs, we remind the patients like, no, we are in total control of this plan.
Mm,
Yes. So I think right off the bat, the conversation is easier. It's more simplified and it allows the patient to just focus on that diagnostic recommendations that the doctor had or the hygienist had recommended. So right off
yeah.
the bat, yes, I do think without the data to back it up, I know I'm seeing a much more smooth conversation, a much more assuring conversation when our admin team is reviewing treatment
Yeah.
plans or just overall the bills with the patients or their balances.
Yeah. Yeah. I look at this data all the time. And several episodes ago, me and Dr. Dan Nelson, we did a kind of a deep dive into his practice, their metrics. Here's the data side that we found. We found that well, we'll start with PPOs. PPO patients, because that's why people are listening to this podcast. They want to figure out how to reduce dependence on PPOs, which is a great strategy. Um, PPO patients typically say yes to treatment about 30-ish% of the time, right? And with that 30% of yeses comes a lot of administrative work to manage that income or that revenue to the practice, right? You know this, Gina, you've had to deal with or seen a lot of over your career in dentistry, you've seen a lot of PPO admin work. It's not fun.
Oh, yes.
My mom was an office manager and still is, and she worked from home when I was a kid, and I heard every single conversation she had with the insurance company, and I'm like, man, that doesn't seem like a fun job. So I feel for you.
No.
I feel for all you insurance coordinators out there dealing with all the red tape and well now AI. They're using AI to deny claims, which is a super fun to combat against AI.
It's been
Sarcastically, I'm
really
saying
fun.
that sarcastically.
Very fun.
Yeah, it's so fun. We did an episode on that well, I don't think it's launched yet. Maybe it has. I forget what's launched, what's not launched on this podcast. But we just did a episode on AI denials and how to combat them because it is becoming a thing that we need to think about in the dental space. So
Yes,
let me get back on track.
we have to put our insurance coordinator in a corner because she's constantly getting heated on the phone with the insurance companies.
Jeez, yeah, yeah, goodness. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Put her in the corner, let her get
Yes.
let her get angry. PPO patients say yes 30% times to treatment plus the admin costs, right? We have to add that in because a lot of times we forget about
Absolutely.
those costs. And then you have the invisible write-offs, right? That a lot of practices aren't keeping track of how much they're writing off. Some do, some don't. Just depends on how you're managing it in the practice management system. But you've got those invisible write-offs. So it's like, holy smokes, the average practice writes off $37,000 a month in PPO write-offs. If you do the math, Gina, that's like $18 million in a career of in dentistry, like a dental
We're
practice.
higher than that. We're higher than that
Yeah, yeah.
with our
So
PPOs.
yeah, it's insane.
Right.
So yeah, that number that I shared is just the average. There's definitely some above and some below that average, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
depending on your state and
depending on your state and the type of patients you're attracting
Mhm.
to your practice, which that's a whole nother episode I can spend time on. How do you attract quality patients to your practice? Membership program is key. That's a hint.
It
A little
is. It
teaser for the next
absolutely
episode.
is.
But so PPO patients say yes 30% of the time when they're presented treatment. Cool, great. They're on a plan, right? Those plans do help with treatment. But it is interesting to me that insurance companies have been around a long time, and it's almost like they designed them to not accept as much treatment for practices because they don't want to pay out all the claims, right? It's almost like they've figured that out. Right? Maybe it's why they have limitations and maximums and all that stuff. Is like to get into the patient's psyche and figure out how to tell them to say no to treatment.
Right.
The second cohort of patients we looked at are cash patients. And I talk to dentists all the time, Gina, and they're like, we love our cash patients. They're amazing, amazing patients. I have been a cash patient for a period of time, not anymore. I'm a membership patient now. To to
Congratulations.
Dr. Anderson at Essential Dentist. Dr. Anderson, what's up? Uh,
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Yep. Um, and cash patients say yes, actually 20 to 24% of the time, right? Where most practice owners or dentists will say, well, why should I discount my cash patients when I'm collecting 100% of my fee? Well, the truth is you're collecting 100% of the 24% of patients that are saying yes. So that's why. So cash patients are great, but they're less likely to say yes to treatment. And then we looked at the membership patient cohort for Dr. Dan Nelson's office, Wood River Dental,
Mhm.
and those patients were saying yes 40% of the time, plus the recurring revenue from membership subscriptions. And then we dug in the data a little bit further and saw that their membership patients were spending $2,150 in that first year of membership, whereas PPO patients were spending about $500. So that's 4.2 times the difference. I believe that was actually their Delta Dental PPO patients, which makes sense. So the PPO patients roughly or the membership patients were spending 4.2 times more than the Delta PPO patients, which is really interesting to me as
I believe that.
right? It's really interesting because it's
Yes.
like, okay, now we're thinking, how do we find more of these patient types? Right? The membership patients. And this is what Dr. Dan calls me all the time. And I'm always strategizing with him because he's a really cool dude. And then obviously we speak every week on the podcast. So but we call these patients the ideal patient profile, membership patients, right? So how do we find more ideal patients? And we can do that through marketing, which Gina, I have a question for you on marketing. What are you guys doing to find and get new patients?
We rely solely on word of mouth.
Okay, perfect.
We don't,
The best type of marketing.
yes, absolutely. We don't invest in third-party marketing of any
Uh-huh.
sorts at this time. We are very busy. We have 3 doctors and
Three
six
docs.
hygienists.
Yeah, you guys are busy.
We
You got
never turn down new patients, but I think our goal every day is, as we spoke earlier, just improving and maximizing on the patient experience for our existing patients.
yeah.
We currently, when we started the membership back in November of 2023, we had 1,100 self-pay patients, and that's my goal.
So
1,100. I
1,100
would like
members.
to, yeah, no, 1,100 self-pay patients
Okay,
in
gotcha.
our patient demographic,
Cohorts.
which is yeah, we have approximately 4,900 patients.
4,900 active patients right now, and you're trying
Correct. And
1,100 of those.
1,100 were self-pay.
Okay.
My goal is to hit that number in memberships. I want us to show the value for all of our self-pay patients. And
Yeah.
along the way, convert some PPO patients, which I know is a lot harder to do when patients are receiving their PPO plans with their benefit packages from their career, their jobs and their employers. So, that's definitely something that we focus on, but my main goal is to market our membership plan to all of our self-pay patients because I know that the value is there for all of them.
Let me just tell you how impactful that will do for on the business side of growing the practice. Most practices will think they'll spend a lot of money on new patient acquisition, which is important. And you guys, it sounds like you have a great referral engine happening for you guys, which is the best type of
Right,
marketing,
right.
right? So, what typically happens is a practice will spend a lot of money on marketing, which I do recommend having some type of agency. But if you've got three doctors that are stacked and a very healthy patient base that you're converting to PPO patients, there's actually some magic there is what I'll call it. In terms of increasing the average revenue per patient is actually
Right.
one of the most impactful things when it comes to growing a practice or any business, including my own business.
Right.
So when we acquire a new patient and spend money to acquire a new patient through like a marketing agency, which is great. We need to understand that those patients are actually not as valuable right from the get-go from a business standpoint, right? As humans, they're valuable.
Of
But
course.
from a business perspective, it's like, cool, there's a cost associated to acquiring that patient. And we need to make sure that we get our money back for the marketing spend, right? And that can get really complicated really quick if you're not tracking and measuring all the details of marketing spend and patient acquisition, right?
Right.
Your model of what you're actually trying to do is actually the smartest thing to do in dentistry and in any business, right? Is okay, I've got this base here of 4,900 active patients. We know 1,100 of them are self-pay. We're going to convert those self-pay to membership patients. If we use Dr. Dan Nelson's data from his practice, we can really reverse engineer the value of that 1,100 those 1,100 patients, right? If you got 1,100 patients signed on, which I've seen this a lot with practices, we actually have several practices that have $1 million membership programs or multi-million-dollar membership programs, meaning they've got like 3,000 active membership patients paying $30, $40 a month. And then you times the conversion rate math. All this is just math, right? Now we're just geeking out
Right.
with math, right? So if you were to get 1,100, which is your goal, which is totally doable, Gina, 1,100 patients times that by the 30, we'll do a monthly rate of $39 a month. That is $42,900 a month, totally doable, total, totally doable in membership plan land, which is for all the practice owners listening, that's $500,000 in annual recurring revenue, whether you do dentistry or not. Most of the time, though, those patients will say yes more to treatment. We know that they do. So let's take Dan's math. 1,100 patients times that by 40 patients. 40% of those patients say yes to treatment. Times that cohort by the $22,150. That's what Dan saw. Now, of course, you're
Yep.
going to have your own data. That cohort on a membership program is worth $946,000 plus the subscription fees, which was 500,000, which is 1.4 million. So if I were doing an analysis on your practice and said, okay, let's look at how we really maximize growth and revenue and all this fun stuff, that is the value of that cohort of patient, $1.4 million in treatment and subscription revenue value. So that's how geeky I get, Gina.
I love it.
So that is the value of your target, your TAM, your total addressable market within your practice, right? These are all geeky words that we're talking about here.
That's my goal. Maybe in a year I'll hit that.
Yes. Yes, you will be back and we'll really dig into it. Absolutely. Do you guys use any patient communication software?
We do. We use Modento through Dental Intel.
Modento. Cool. They're right down the street from us here.
Of
Boom
course they
Cloud is here in
are.
Utah. Modento was acquired by Dental Intelligence. Plug for you guys. Love the Dental Intelligence team. They're fantastic. We do a lot with them, and go check them out if you don't have Modento or Dental Intelligence. They're great products that actually go really well with Boom Cloud and what we do with membership plans. So, Gina, my last question. What is your top tip to help a practice just getting launched with a membership program to get some traction?
My top tip would be one, building a team,
Okay.
not a sub team, I should say, a little subcommittee to hit the
Okay.
ground running with it. to expect that the practice owners or the main decision maker will have the time in the day when typically the main decision maker is the dentist who is busy with their hands in, burn a tooth
Yeah.
40 hours a week.
Cutting
It's
margins.
really, it's unrealistic to think that they can think through everything that needs all the moving parts of a membership. So build a subcommittee, a sub team that you trust.
Yes.
Have that include and incorporate both your admin and your clinical team members.
Yes.
Have them brainstorm what is going to work best for this program, what will best suit the needs of our patients, and let them take over, let them build it. It's one less thing that the practice owners have to worry about. Definitely check in and be aware of what's happening. But I think building the trust and building the confidence in your team members who know the patients, who know what the barriers are, who know what the value are, let them do the work. And I think by utilizing BoomCloud, we were just able to personalize and cater our plan exactly to how we wanted it. On top of that, I haven't even had a chance to brush upon this, the customer service, the support that we receive from BoomCloud it's been so helpful. So I think just having, the team at BoomCloud help get through all the obstacles, work out the kinks with you, help. And I felt during that whole time building the program and then moving forward, I was always in the driver's seat. I had somebody just guiding
support
me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Motivating,
coach.
encouraging, and guiding me.
Yes.
Maybe don't do it that way, but if you want to do it that way, yes. But this is how other offices, other teams is working for. So yeah, those are.
I'm guessing you worked with Lisa, right? From our team.
Absolutely. Lisa told me when I signed up, I need like a team member in the other room. If you ever need me, it's like knocking on the door. And she was not lying.
Yes.
Whenever I need her, I text her. I get a phone call within 3 minutes. And if I don't,
she's amazing.
She'll call me and be like, I'm so sorry. It took me an hour to call you back. I'm like, oh, trust me. This is it. She's been incredible. I think having a team that you trust internally and then externally through BoomCloud is two of the biggest things. And then also just keeping the communication with the patients, hearing from them throughout the whole process, what's working for them, what's not working. I think, we knew this going in that we can always change. Like, let's set that framework and then we can always amend it. We can always build upon that. And here we are a year in and it's working. We thought we would have been amending our plan by now. And
and some practice do, and that's okay. You can do it.
We have talks. Actually, my boss was just saying, wouldn't it be nice if in our perio program we included 4? Right now we include 3 recares. It's like we should up it and include that 4th recare. I'm like, okay, I'll get Lisa on the phone and we'll get going with that.
I was gonna say, do you have a perio membership plan, which is awesome.
We do, yes.
Yeah, that's great. Other creative plans that I've seen out there are Botox plans. A lot of practices are doing Botox.
Yes.
Unlimited subscription plan, whitening subscription plans.
Yes, whitening is great.
That is popular. I've seen a lot of plans that look like that. And then of course, we help other practices that aren't in dental. So like optometrists, there's vision plans out there. And I just signed up. I just signed up. There's a doctor down the street. His name is Dr. Colin Gray. He's an optometrist. We helped him launch his membership plan, and I just signed up to be a member of his membership for the eye clinic with my daughters and my wife. And it's an amazing. It's just I love being a membership patient in 2 practices now, Gina.
Yes, it's great. It's such a great gift to give to the patients.
I
for
love
them
hearing
to just
that.
be in control. Yes, I've been so pleased. I can't wait. I got this goal for myself and I'm going to get there. We're going to get there.
Yes, I would love to sit after this recording, sit and brainstorm with you on ways you can hit your 1100 goal number. I would love to be somebody at least that I can help strategize with you on that. That is such a great goal, and would love to get the weeds of that with you. I like geeky stuff. So, Gina, this has been an absolute awesome episode, and I know it's going to bring a lot of value to our listeners here at BoomCloud and to just people that aren't at BoomCloud. So with that said, Thank you so much for all the great things, the great tips that you've mentioned today. And for all of our listeners out there, go to boomcloudapps.com. I've got ebooks, webinars, podcasts like this that you can listen to and learn about this strategy, as well as just booking a demo and scheduling how BoomCloud can change your practice. But with that said, we hope everyone has a rocking day.
Thank you so much.